Citizens Garden. I'm here with Maxine McCrae, who is a member of the
Ghana and Quanta project.
And Ms. McCrae, or Sister McCrae, I understand that you are at the UN, part of the working group.
Yeah, well, we at the UN, we call NGO, non-governmental organizations. And with the Ghana and Quanta is one of them, the New Harlem New Future Foundation, and also the Harlem Women's Committee International, which I'm president. So we have several NGOs from this area that goes into UN. This session is on indigenous people from around the world. And in February also we had the Women's Conference, and the women from all over the world came. So now is indigenous people talking about their land rights, what's going on with their government, and how the UN and how other people around the world can help them get back to their land. I was there Thursday. I went to a very important one for the Canadians, indigenous people, who say that Canada took their land and they've been fighting to get it back again. So we're going to go back again because it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be the last session of it. But we really feel like indigenous people in this country lost their land. And then we came as slaves, and didn't give us land, didn't give us freedom, didn't give us anything, and we're still now fighting for just social rights, and the government's still looking down on us almost like indigenous people. So when we look at African people, African Americans, and we look at indigenous people from all over the world, we have a lot in common.
Yes.
We're all fighting for our freedom, we're fighting for our land, we're fighting for the rights to just be recognized.
Right, as humans.
As humans.
On this earth.
Right. So I'm really glad today in the garden we came together, Women of Proverbs with Sister here, and also the Ghana and Quanta project, which was started by Queen Mother Aduni, who was so engrossed in being an African, not just American. She was an African. She wore African clothing every day of her life that and when she was an adult. She went to Ghana. The chief gave her some land in Ghana. It's called the Quanta. Ghana and Quanta is a village, two sets of villages that we have land. Our project has land there.
Okay.
And when Sister Aduni died, she said, I want to go back when I die to Africa. She's now entombed in one of our villages in Africa.
Beautiful.
So we're just doing all this in her name, and we're praising Sister Aduni today. We're also praising Mother Earth, and we have to preserve the earth.
Yes,
That's
we
what
do.
indigenous people are so afraid of. The forest, we lose the forest, we lose the rivers, and we need to make sure that everybody know that we have to keep those things, the earth intact.
Yes.
So that's what Linda just came back from Ghana, and she did a project there. And so we want to just thank everybody for coming today to this beautiful garden, because it's one of the places that in the middle of New York City, in the middle of Harlem. It's like a little
Oasis.
rainforest, and it's an oasis. And so they were kind enough to let us have this space today. So we will come back again sometime this summer.
Yes.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you. Well, this is Ama'at, and I intend to interview other sisters here in this glorious garden. And we are grateful for this earth, and we have to preserve it.
We must.
Thank you. See you later.
Let's get it.
Any question you like, go ahead.
This is Ama'at. I'm with the indigenous sister. Introduce yourself.
I'm an indigenous Tupi-Guarani tribe, which is Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Mato Grosso, which is the border of Amazon in Brazil. But I'm also a minister, Faith Restoration Churches. I'm an ordained bishop because half of my family is European, half is indigenous. And all the good things I learned from each one, because this planet, the four corners of the planet, is the children of Mother Earth.
Yes.
And so we have to honor Mother Earth with all our love, more than ever. Now it's more than ever, because we're going into a millennium of a woman.
Yes.
Millennium of a woman
Female
is
spirit.
female spirit. The only ones who are going to understand really well are the males in our society are going to understand. If they join the millennium of woman, they become so spiritual blessed. Okay? And the ones who don't, watch out. The divine God and divine Mother will never forget. Okay? But it's because of the children. Women give birth to children.
Everything
Give
comes
birth
through us.
to the children of the divine Creator, to the children of the earth. Because our first mother is the earth.
Yes.
Okay, tomorrow is going to be Mother's Day. It's the greatest. Yeah, because I lost my mother. I was 7.5 years old. But I had grandmother, aunts. I had godmothers, and I have. I mean, you name it, and I had it. However, you still miss your mother.
Yes.
Okay, and that's why I join all the mothers of the planet together and pray. We do a circle sacred dance, which I teach, and I also work with earth, and I'm gonna work with the whales, rest of the whales, and going to Peninsula Valdez in October 10th.
Okay.
That's for 2 weeks. That's for 3 weeks. That's for a few days down below Argentina, which is a peninsula of Valdez, which we're going to go to pet the whales and pray with the whales. Yeah, I have 3 American Indian elders, a Cherokee, Apache from Dallas, and then the others from Vermont, and the others from Nevada, the others from 2 other states. We're going to be there with the whales because the whales are crying. Okay, they go there because it's a nursery. They give birth to the babies. They give birth to the babies, and actually we're going on the boat, and sometimes the whale turn upside down, and we pet the belly. Yeah, and it's, the other time that I was there, they pet the belly, and they didn't give birth yet. So all the people in the boat feel like they are the godmothers.
To the baby whale.
Or godfathers if we have men
Okay.
there. So we feel like we're the pet, and they turn around and everything, and then they do that their exercise.
Yes,
and then we go into the area where the dolphins are.
I love dolphins.
Oh, the dolphins, and they do all kind of things for us.
And they
You know,
speak to you.
yeah, speak
and-
to us, and then we pray and everything. But this time we're going to combine Brazil with it.
All right.
We're going to go to the area of São Paulo, Rio, Bahia, and Manaus. Well, because it's special because we are praying for the rivers and praying for the oceans and praying for the people to understand better.
Yes.
Because
The earth is sacred.
the earth is sacred, and also because of the forest that it's in danger right now.
Yes.
And so we're gonna go on the riverboat that we can, glass boat that we can see the life right on the bottom. And then we go to the Pororoca, which is when the sweet water, so the dark river gets together, the Amazon gets together with the ocean.
Wow.
And it's boom! It's a tremendous thing. And but it's not it, because people should go in different places of the planet because those places are in danger. And if we do that, we become so close. And see, the past 7 years we're doing the Earth Day.
Yes.
It was not our Earth Day. Personally, it's everybody,
World
the
Earth
mother, and every child, and everything. And the Earth Day purpose is to let people know and to hear from the elders.
Right.
Okay, because people don't really, now the elders are waking up. I had the Mi'kmaq Nation, I have the Olmec, I have the Mayan Indians, I have the Indians from Ecuador. Oscar is so precious. He came and he said, "No puedo estar ahí porque tengo que estar aquí." He said, "Oscar, tú tienes que venir. Oscar, you have to come." I said, "Oh, he's from the Quechua Nation
Okay.
in Ecuador. And the Quechua grow everything natural, organic.
Wow.
Okay, so if you grow everything organic, you don't give an excuse to other people to take the delicious food the Mother Earth was meant for us to have. You know, big companies. I know so many companies that are trying to create things that you
Yeah.
shouldn't eat.
Yeah.
You go in the supermarket, don't know what's in it.
It's not even food.
Not even
It's
food.
Not food.
And watch out when they say organic, and not everybody's jeopardized in saying organic is not organic.
Yes.
You have to really make sure that the association organic. And the state of New York has so many organic farms. You know, you can buy
Upstate,
local, so
yes.
they don't have to bring by train or by airplane or anything.
You're
So
supposed to eat locally.
locally,
Supposed to eat
locally.
your food grown in your area.
Yes.
Not from out of state, not from out
Yeah.
of the country.
Yeah, grow
Everything is supposed
here.
to be grown locally. That's how you eat to live.
Yeah, my friend, Audrey, she is a tiny little Jewish lady. She doesn't mind me saying that because we are very close.
Yes.
So she was nominated an elder for Ghana, you know, and she was married to a Ghana man and he died. And she has a daughter who got married, beautiful. But in Ghana, she went there and she organized these beautiful gardens for women. In the village, you start having more fresh food, more fresh every vegetables, grains, and everything. We have to work together. Women have to work together and get good men to work with them. Because good men need to understand if they treat their women good and then the other treat their women good, there will be no suffering in the world.
This is true.
No suffering. Who's going to suffer if we treat everybody with love? Love is the most powerful energy on the planet. There's no any war, this and that. No love. If you have love here, then the knowledge comes to you, and you tell the truth, and then the wisdom comes, and you become so knowledgeable. All of a sudden, you know things that you didn't know before.
Wow. Okay.
Because
I believe that.
you just become knowledgeable because the Creator see, oh, he or she, I'm going to really bless he or she. I'm going to bless them. And all of a sudden, you get a little thing that you're blessed, completely blessed, because it's just like in going any church, any synagogue, any church, any temple. You get out of there. See, when I teach the sacred dance in the park every Sunday, it's called Pan Eurytimi, which is Pan is the whole universe. Eu means all the inhabitants of the earth, and rhythmi is everything that blows, the wind, the breeze, the blood that flows in your veins, the water, the rivers, all of that. So you have to kind of, and the birds that sing, those is the trees that move, all the rhythms that we have to observe. Because I grew up like this, observing nature in a farm in southern Brazil. We are all farms, all organic, everything. We share everything with everybody. Oh yeah, because there was the people from Europe, the refugees, the war thing.
Yes.
We share everybody because some of them went there with just the clothes on their back. Now, my family was privileged. God gave us a lot. So we had a lot of land. And the government said that my father and my uncles had to sell it to the people who came from Europe. And my father and my uncle and my mother, my grandmother and my mother, we always made a decision right there with their men. Right there. Everybody. So he said, okay, we help you. How many acres? You want some land that we give it to you, build your house, and you can help us.
Yes.
When we do some crops and you do your thing, we share. That's what we did.
As we should.
Yeah, the village worked together as one. So I am so happy to be here with everyone here. So happy.
About a farm. This is Sister Asantua.
Yeah,
Asantua is joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Asantua. What do
You
you
join us.
It is a wonderful day, a celebration here. Wonderful to be with the human family in this sacred place. I'm a Santua, born of Willadine and George Harris, granddaughter of Miles and Ida Irene Harris, Cherokee of this place. My mother's people, African, so I have two powerful bloodlines that I share, and I'm so excited to be a part of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous People. This has been amazing just to learn what's going on in the world and to heal our relationship with Mother Earth. I was hearing the beloved sister talk about farming, and that has been something that I watched my grandmother do years ago from the housing projects in Queens. Before they laid the grass down, she had planted.
Wow.
So planting and tasting fresh food has been a part of my life. And I brought pictures, so I want to show the photos so
Did
that
you
you
grow
can
that?
see. This is from a partner friend of mine from Maryland who said, Sister Asantua, I no longer go to the store. And as you say, and as it is true, that there's always enough.
Yes.
Great abundance.
When you plant, even in this garden, and I'm a member of the garden family here, our farm friends from Vermont donated 1,000 organic seedlings to us. And we transplanted them here in the Senior Citizen Sculpture Garden and Farm. And it was absolutely amazing. Just to see tomatoes, squash, collard greens, kale, in abundance.
Yes.
So what we're having now is we're working on farm share with Corbin Hill Farm. Dennis Derrick is a CEO and founder of Corbin Hill Farm, and they're doing farm shares. It's not a CSA, community supported agriculture, where there's a big fee that you pay before the first seed goes in the ground. This is $15 a week, $25 a week, paid in advance, and then the next week you pick up. City College of New York, down the street, 138th Street and Amsterdam Avenue, is a farm share distribution site. So if people are interested, www.corbinhillfarm.com. Yes, .com. And you can find out information if you want to sign up, all of that. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Asantua. Yes. And next we have Mother Blakely,
Yes.
who is about to bestow us with some wonderful news
Yes.
about Rosa Parks.
Yes, first of all, I want to just thank the mothers that spoke before me. And we're in celebrating Mother's Day.
Every day is Mother's Day.
Every day.
Which is going to be very special this year for us.
Okay.
Because at the Apollo Theater, we're going to have Mother Ruby Dee
Really?
as our Mother of the Year to celebrate with the community, which she was born in Harlem.
Yes.
And so with her coming back to celebrate Mother's Day with us
Yeah.
at the Apollo Theater is an honor
Yes, it is.
and a blessing in itself.
Yes, it is.
But this week has been very powerful for all of us as mother. Our dearly beloved mother of civil rights in the struggle of a people who sat on the bus, no other than Mother Rosa Parks. And at the Washington National Cathedral, she is now carved in stone across from Mother Teresa of Calcutta. So you have two spiritual icons
Talk about
holding
woman's
energy
spirit.
and mothers and energy of civilization that hold the spiritual consciousness of a people, whether that's a part of the Mother Earth, of the race. The Mother Consciousness has been erected and bestowed. The first woman in our history of the middle passage of the transatlantic ocean of the slave trade, who refused to go to the back of a bus and was jailed for it in our lifetime. And as she said to me, and in the garden like in Harlem, which is so beautiful to be in this garden here in Harlem, she said to Queen Mother Moore, when she would meet her with simplicity and humility, that Queen Mother Moore was in the liberation struggle or in the struggle of a people before she was ever born. So have a woman that stood tall but very tiny and very soft-spoken to be able to say to Queen Mother when she would ever see her, that I thank you for being in the struggle before I was ever born. So she had a role model,
Yes.
Queen Mother Moore, in the liberation of women. And so to have spent quality time with our dearly beloved mother, Rosa Parks, on many fronts. Even in Harlem, the school is named after her on 125th Street. And I was one of the professors for a short time at the school. I was there for the dedication of the day that she was in Harlem.
All right.
So you could imagine what it means in my own spirit and consciousness to have been able to spend such sacred time with her.
Yes.
And so on this day, as one woman to another, and you can convey it to your mother, whether she is with us or an ancestor. Happy Mother's Day and happy Mother's Earth Day to all of our mothers globally.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Queen Mother Moore.
Yeah.
She's here.
Queen Mother
She's
Moore
here.
is here.
She's
Yes,
here.
it's
Queen
beautiful.
I
Mother
just
Moore
spoke her
is
name.
here.
Queen
Queen
Mother
Mother
Blakely.
and Queen Mother Moore. I carry her legacy.
Yes.
And also the community mayor of Harlem and the ambassador of goodwill to Africa, and having the global community here today, the indigenous people of the world, to embrace us in the culture and in the forest here in Harlem amongst our family. This is in divine intervention.
Yes. In divine order.
Yes, it
And you're
is.
also part of the UN working group.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes,
And how
for
has
the
that been
indigenous
going?
peoples. And we're getting ready for Rio. Plus 20, we're on our way to Brazil. And so that's one of our goals that we're working toward right now. And it's been very, I would say very engaging and very involving of the global indigenous people of the world. And so the intervention's been very, very powerful and very moving because you had the voice of indigenous women speaking for their tribe and their clans in the United Nations. And some of us made that happen years ago with our past Secretary General, Kofi Annan, that we opened up the doors of the United Nations because I've been involved with the UN for 43 years.
Wow.
So some of us agitated that institution to include the indigenous people, and now that they're there in large numbers speaking for themselves.
Right.
So we're hoping to see you at the United Nations
You will.
to join us with the Indigenous Forum this week.
Yes.
So we're looking to see you and to hear your voice as an indigenous woman of the world and speaking for other women.
Yes.
And that is very important that you continue to document and to tell the story of our women in the world from the indigenous perspective. So we thank you.
I will. Thank
Yes,
you, Mother
thank
Blakely.
you. Thank you.
Mother Blakely.
Yes, and happy Mother's Day to
Happy
all
Mothers
women
to all
of
mothers.
the world. Happy
All
Mother's
mothers.
Day.
Every day is Mother's Day.
Every day is Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day.
Thank you, Queen Mother Moore.
Stay. I'm not. We're going 3 days to Bahia. That's an option. But we're going again. Okay? And another thing is going to happen in September. We honor Mother Earth again. We're going to do 14 and 15 of September. We're going to do that. Another thing is I'm going to the 16th of this month, a couple weeks from now, for a 4-day fast in Vermont.
Wow.
In Sweat Lodge.
All right.
In
wanna
Northern
go.
Virginia, which is my Nigma adopted mother. She's going to be there supervising. It's only women for this particular fast, but the men can come and be learning with Brother Bill how to take care of women when they fast. It's on the 16th, on the 21st to the 26th of May. And it's unbelievable because it's going to be on the Cherokee, the Apache, and so many other people that the elders are going to teach young men or women they want to learn how to take care of women when they're fasting. Because they're going to have fast, that sacred time. It's a sacred time when the women fast. And then it's unbelievable for men to learn that. One more thing. The last meeting that I had with the elders, they asked me to tell the young men, the men who are good, tell the ones who are not good to respect women, to love them, to treat them as their own. And because recently I had news from Africa where some people, friends of mine there in Ghana, they were, the whole village, they were raped, the children were 8 years old. I felt so bad because those baby girls, they had nothing, they did nothing, they don't know nothing. They're innocent babies. And the whole village was raised, and they did that. Let's pray for this man. Let's ask God to forgive them, that they don't do that anymore. You can't be angry at your brothers. You can't be angry at your sisters. You have to have forgiveness in your heart. My goodness, it's so much. I'll be going for my vision quest up north. We're going to Grand Teton. We're going to drive through the Yellowstone, and I'm going to camp on the bottom of the big canyon, Grand Canyon, with 3 of my elder friends. And actually the ceremony what the indigenous, they're going to take blood from you. We're going to be on the bottom, meditate. We're going to go down to the bottom, go with the indigenous people to the bottom, not on the top. No anything that helicopter or nothing. We're going to go down, down. We're going to stay in the caves. And we're going to touch the water, we're going to bless the water and everything there. There are some things, if you like to go on a vision quest, let me know. And if you like to do certain things that you think let me know, because you have to be strong. You have to have training. You have to have a checkup before you go with your doctor.
And that's my little niece right there, my great niece Ida. Ida, can you stand up with your Uncle Jeremy? And my godson Jeremy. My great aunt is going to be 80 years old, okay? She's beautiful for 80, and she's raising a great grandchild. I want to say, I also have a sister here. Her name is Cassandra Battles. I want her to stand up. Sister Jean Oliver is here, and my other sisters here.
Mother Moore here. That's our sister. We have my sister, our host, one of our hostesses, one of the sisters who cooked all of this wonderful
And I got to make sure you get a plate too. Don't worry. You want a plate too? Did you eat?
Our cameraman has to eat.
Okay. I had to tell Jeremy make it 5 plates.
All right. This is Sister
Sakia.
Kia.
Sleep right there.
And she is one of our hostess, as I said, in the Senior Citizens Garden. We hope to make this an annual event.
Excuse us, on her. Go straight to the back, and they're going to make sure you get something to eat at the table. Sorry.
So, Sister Nikita.
Zakia.
Zakia, I'm sorry.
That's all right. You've been saying sister this and mother that all day. You're going to get us confused.
We're
Is that
all
all right?
sisters and mothers and everything else.
Oh, my
All
gosh.
right? We have said everything
Sister
except
Alma
girlfriends.
Ma'at. I have to remember Alma Ma'at. And I said, okay, Alma is a name for Ghana, and it means Saturday.
Yes.
One born on Saturday.
Yes.
And then you said Ma'at. I said, oh, that's the mother of balance. I'm not going to forget. One and one is still 2.
She's the only one that knows that. I've had to explain that to everybody.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, I'm deep.
Oh, yes, you are. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to tell me about, have you been to the UN and your experience there as part of the working group?
Okay. Well, I have to say that I didn't get a chance to go to the UN this year.
Oh, you too, me.
Okay, but I
everything
sent
in
sister,
divine order.
I sent Sister Linda is one of our emissaries,
Yes.
and then I had another sister that I sent. Her name is Sharon Leaf,
and she's a health practitioner, and she went and she's talking about holistic health for African women. So she went with Sister Linda to talk about the health aspects of people in the rural area, to find out information. What are our people doing over there in taking care of their health when they know that they can't afford regular doctors and stuff, and what herbs and things and methods are they using for healing, which is important. So she went there and she met some indigenous people. She gathered some information. This was the first time in that kind of arena, and she really loved it. And Sharon was, she's 40 years old now, but she used to be in my dance class when she was 10. So, you know, once those that leave you, they do return.
Oh, yes.
A baby, oh.
So you really are mother to more than one.
Yes, 1,000. I'm like, you know, it's my organization is called the Women of Proverbs 8. And if you read Proverbs 8 in the Bible, you'll know what it's all about. And as I said earlier, it's a way for us to use it as a guideline to live our life. Our organization is about 20 years old. I started going to Ghana, West Africa about 17 years ago. I took about 4 young people from the school system here in Harlem. We had a contest where young people would have to write, you know, an essay on what they think they would like to do if they went to Africa and visit them, and then they would have to talk about family life and what's important, how important is the family life, what about the tourism in Ghana, etc., doing things of that nature. So we took 4 young people in March of 94. We stayed until April of 94. We made a lot of connections with young people. The young people had to bring a few things to trade with the kids, so they brought them. At that time, they didn't have the CD disc. They had the little, the little cassette tapes, the little Walkmans, and they brought different things, school books and different things like that, and that was really good for them. And then I went back again in December of 94. For Kwanzaa. It was called the Transatlantic Kwanzaa, where we celebrated Kwanzaa simultaneously with our time zones here in Harlem, in Ghana, West Africa, in Cape Coast, in Trinidad, and in England, and in St. Martin, in Georgia. So we had all these people who knew that I was going back to Africa to take all of these school supplies and clothes and things like that for the young people. And it was my first time being out of Harlem for Kwanzaa, and I was worried about it. So, but the children performed, everything went well, and then all my other friends said, well, I'm going to do a transatlantic Kwanzaa with my kids, because this is the first time I wasn't with them, and I want them to feel me, so we're going to light the candles at the same time, and we did all that. It was wonderful. And at that event, my Queen Mother was invited, Queen Mother Akua Farawa, by Nana Okofu and Sister Imakus, who are African Americans living in the Cape Coast area. And they were living here for about 5 years when we got there. And we just had a really great time. Gary Bird was there, Dr. Jeffries, because everybody at that time was coming for what they call, I think it was the 2nd or the 3rd annual Panafest, which is a biannual Pan-African Festival of the Arts. All aspects of the art is spoken on and displayed and performed, and we had a really nice time in going there for that time, and me taking the supplies and everything for the kids. The Queen Mother came, and she just liked my work. She just saw me, cooking, cleaning, washing, being an MC, dancing, doing poetry, because we're having this big Kwanzaa, right? And we're on the shores of One Africa House, and it looks straight out of the Atlantic Ocean, and we can see the Cape Coast Castle. Almina Castle, right down by the way. So it was just a wonderful spiritual thing, and she liked what I was doing, and she said, I like you. We became friends. We walked around the garden. She said, come and see my village. I said, okay. I had some more time. And then the next thing I know, my husband at the time, excuse me, my belated husband, Andrew Henderson, we were traveling. We went with the kids when we were in March to April. So we were there together in December of 94, going into January 95.
Yeah.
He said, you know, you need to change your name. You've been Sister Zakia for such a long time. You've done all this wonderful work. We're in Africa. Change your name. Let's get a naming ceremony for you. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. What are we going to do? So him and Nana Kofa got together, the Queen Mother. They saw that we got along together when we had the Kwanzaa. And they went to her to see if she would do it. And then by the grace of God, I got nominated as a chief. And then Kobe Henny, she won. She was like, no, I'm not gonna just give her a name. And that woman, the way that she works, she does everything. And I see that, you know, she likes children and elders, and she's respectful. So she had this Queen Mother's pick chiefs in Africa, like here in Native American, if you know anything about the indigenous, the men can't do anything without the women's consent. So the same thing we have in Africa. The Queen Mother is the guarding over a particular position, because you have council of elders and chief in every village. And you have different chiefs who have different responsibilities. And you have the premier chief that's in charge of everyone. But all the other chiefs, sub-chiefs, they have their different responsibilities. Now, what made history was that the Queen Mother was guarding over a chieftaincy that had been vacant for over 350 years. And that was because that chief was stolen during the slave trade. And they believe her great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother and the Abusa Penny, which is the head of the family, said because that chief was stolen from them, they know that he would be returned to them, and they would wait for the one to come back. So when the Queen Mother saw me doing all this work, you know, I gave out, you know, all these things to the kids, school supplies, everything. The Kwanzaa celebration was wonderful. And she said, no, I don't want her to be just to get a name and to go. I know that she belongs here with us. So that's how I returned. So I have my own Sankofa in a Babio story. And so ever since, I've been going back and forth, doing things. I went from December of 2001 until January of 2007. As I said, I helped build a school, 3-room classroom for kids, grades 4 to 6. Over 800 school books shipped from America to there, so we can start a library and kids can have reading books that they can take home and read for their own. We had the road fixed. The road was in such bad disrepair because we're way up in the mountains, National Cartoon Park. Our village is over Cape Coast, but it's in the mountains. So our people grow oranges, cocoa, yams, cola, palm. You know, so we're in the bush. We're really in the bush. The road was a wreck, and I had to get it fixed because I was living there now. And every time I went down to the town, to Cape Coast, to come back up, shiver me timbers. So I advocated, and we got the road fixed, which is good. And
woman power.
Then I also helped to get a teacher's quarters built for 6 teachers to come and stay, where they have their own bedroom, kitchen, living room, bathroom, running toilet. They're living better than the people in the village. But I had I had them do that, so that this way here, the children in our village will have college-educated teachers, because we found that a lot of the young people who were graduating from college in Ghana, they didn't want to go back to the villages because the villages were poor, the housing wasn't good, socialization is not nice, you know, it wasn't really amenable to them. You know, it wasn't accessible because mostly everybody's married or they hooked up. Now you a young teen, you know, not a teenager, but you're a young person, you're in your 20s, you go to a town, you're a stranger, you want to teach, and you don't got no girlfriend or you ain't got no boyfriend, and you start speaking and becoming friends and become a problem. Then it seems like it's boring, there's no television, you know, lights out whenever, you know, in a minute, you ain't got no electricity. Today you got 2 minutes later you don't. So it was a problem. So I said, well, you know what, we're going to resolve that by making decent housing so they can come. So now we have 6 college educated teachers teaching in the village instead of the high school teacher or just the 2 schoolmasters who are educated. So we got a better chance now. So I did that, and right now we're raising money for women and girls, young girls, to do permaculture, to grow moringa, which is another moringa, which is a miracle herb. It grows naturally in Ghana. To harvest it, to grow it, to make sure that, you know, they make soap and lotion and cocoa butter and other things, and tea, and stuff like that. And we're thinking about Panifest. I want to take some of, we had a lovely band here, Sister Lee Olive sung. We have some really nice talent here, so I would like to take some of that talent to the Pan-African Festival, which is a biannual festival of African arts. People come from Africa, from Cuba, from Brazil, from England. We all come together to Ghana every 2 years, and we perform and we talk about our arts, performing, writing, colloquiums. We get everything, films, everything. The next one is going to be in 2013, and that's so next year. So some of the talent that was here, I want to raise some money for them so we can go over there, and I want to introduce them to my village because my kids are really talented. We have a dance group there, and they really made me very proud. The 5 years I was there, they danced, they did everything, and I just really want to get the people who are here to teach them some more music, some song, and they learn some dances and make it nice.
So
and
do you have a website or anything?
Well, right now I'm working on, I'm updating the website. I'm getting ready to update and make a new website. But you can contact me at Women Proverbs, which is all small letters, Women Proverbs together, _8 at yahoo.com. And my name is, I was known for many years as Sister Zakia, but now I got everybody calling me Nana, because like I said, I got that title. I'm keeping it for 500 years. My ancestors was here, and I wasn't nothing but just a regular Joe, all right? Or should I say Joanne? But now, with my work, the families, the children, the lives are changing. I'm trying to take about other people who want to do the same thing. So if you want to call me, my phone number is 347-737-2908. That's 347-737-2908. And it's called Women of Proverbs 8. You can call me. You can email me at womenproverbs_8 at yahoo.com. And I want to thank you for the interview and for coming. And you also did a wonderful job in cooking. Thank you. I want to say to everybody, all our people, we have to network. This is a very crucial time. I just left my home before I came here. I was a little late because I got stuck on a program called TED Talks. And there was this man who had this ingenious invention on how to take dirty water and make it clean. And it's good for 6,000 liters. Do you know how many of our people in Africa and Brazil are suffering because they have to get clean water? And I am working to get people stimulated here so we can buy these jugs, buy them for our people, and also get our people to invest. Get some stocks and some bonds into stuff like that, because Hurricane Katrina showed us 5 days before they even brought water to people. If these people would have had this little, like just a regular jug, like people be sipping now, the regular water, and you take it, just imagine, all that flood water, they could have just scooped it up and it would become purified and good to drink. So my thing is ecology, education, culture, family, nation. And I think this is good. So these are the things that we're working on to make things right. And you hear my little grandniece calling me, come over here.
Okay. You want to be on camera?
This is what I'm living for.
There you go.
This is Keita.
Look
Say
at
hi,
that
Keita. Hi, this is my great niece. And it's for her future, her cousins, and everybody else is what I do for. So it's for them, the elders, and for the us's, the we's.
And it is worth it. Look at this beautiful baby.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Say Odabo.
Odabo.
Come on, let's
Way better.
Go.
I'm here with Miss Loretta, who I understand. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I just learned that she was a dancer in the Wiz. Yeah. And this is her first time in the Senior Citizens Garden. And how are you enjoying yourself this evening?
I had a wonderful time. It's very educational, rewarding, and positive thinking here. It was really wonderful. And I danced with Alvin Ailey.
Alvin Ailey too.
I was his last dance partner. Yeah.
We have history. We're standing in history, and we're making
Yes,
history.
and this is really an historic place. It's really beautiful. And I'm so glad that I was invited to come.
And she will be here next year.
I will be back before next year.
Oh, right. She's going to become a regular.
Yes.
She just discovered the garden.
Right.
And how did you discover the garden?
Ta-da!
Sister Ajua, who I will get to next.
Yes.
Well, Miss Loretta,
Thank you.
it was very nice seeing you again.
Okay.
And we will see each other again.
Definitely.
I'm so hopefully soon.
Definitely.
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Hey!
Okay, this is Amma I. I'm here with Linda Ajua Fletcher, the hostess and facilitator of all of this gathering, and also one of the members of the NGO at the UN. Sister Ajua, can you tell us about the forum and the doctrine of discovery, which is the theme of the UN conference this year of the indigenous peoples? I think I said that wrong.
Right. Yeah, the United Nations Indigenous Peoples Forum. And the theme this year is the doctrine of discovery. And it's been going on since May the 7th. And so there's a lot of talk about the doctrine, but I don't hear enough talk about the people that were the resources. We hear about the land that was taken, the resources that were taken, but us, as people in diaspora from Africa, we were the resources. We were the physical resources. So I don't see enough of that dialogue going on. A lot of the sessions so far has been interesting about the doctrine of discovery. But my take on the doctrine of discovery is how can somebody discover me when God created me?
Okay.
And there's a lot of things going on in the world with that doctrine of discovery where they're redressing it, past issues. And one of the things I do like about the Indigenous Peoples Forum, they want to keep their tradition. They are not being assimilationist. They want their tradition, and they want redress. And they want to be part of any development that takes place from their perspective. So they're redressing the whole doctrine of discovery and the fact that they are still suffering from it, just like our people are still suffering from the doctrine of discovery. Africa is still suffering. We're still suffering in the diaspora. And it's real. The suffering is real. And I like the fact that they have no problems saying that they're still suffering and that the racism is still here. And then some of our brothers and sisters from the continent, from Kenya, they're saying there's a whole new doctrine of discovery. There's a whole new exploitation that's about to take place, where they want to take countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya and make a whole middle-class elite. That's going on too. So, and we have to look at not only past racism, but the present assaults that are taking place.
Yes.
And I think it's important that, especially we that live in New York, that we participate in what happens at the UN, because that's a resource.
Yes.
It's a chance for us to dialogue with the rest of the world. And that's why WINGS, the West Harlem Initiative for Neighborhood Gardens for Sustainability, that we're doing these events. Because that's right in our backyard, and it's what Dr. Golson said. Anybody that comes to the UN needs to come to the hood. Regardless of what the issue or the theme is, they need to come here to see us on our own territory, our own turf, where we're not seen through BET, superstars, or athletes. That is not who we are.
Right.
So,
We are indigenous people of the earth.
but we are the original.
The original people.
Indigenous
Okay,
people of the earth.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Ajua. And why did you choose this garden to have here?
Why I choose this garden? I chose this garden because I really like the work that Dr. Golson does, and she preserves our history. Like as a people, you have to keep reinventing yourself. You got to keep rebuilding yourself, and you got to keep remembering who you are. And that's part of Dr. Golson's work. And in this garden, there's so many things to remind us of who we are.
Yes, there are.
So that's why I picked this garden.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we will see you next year.
Okay.
Hope. Yeah, we will see you next year.
Okay.
We spoke it. It is done.
We will have another event.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Bigger and better.
Right.
With a lot more people, because we will publicize this. A lot more people. Even though this is the best kept secret in Harlem, we will protect it. But we will come. People have to come here in order for it to be protected.
And then also, then we got to understand too, as a people, we have to initiate.
Yes.
If we don't initiate activities, then we become a product of somebody else.
Yeah.
We are products to ourselves. And we have to initiate activities in our gardens. And then the gardens are a base for organizing ourselves as a community. Nobody builds community for anybody, so we want people to come to the gardens and do activities. A lot of people, this is their first time even coming in here.
Yes, a lot of people. This is actually, what, my second or third time here. Okay? It was because of Sister Ajua that I knew this place was here. And it's wonderful and beautiful. You have to come to the Senior Citizens Garden and check it out.
Sculpture garden.
Sculpture garden. Everything garden. Pictures, everything.
Our history's here.
Yes. This is really a landmark.
It's a landmark.
Yes.
It's a landmark.
Yes. Well, this is Amma Ott. This time I am signing off.
Go.
This is Amma Ott at the Senior Citizen Sculpture Garden. I am here with Sister Indigo Washington, who is running for City Council. Thank you. And Sister Indigo, this is your first time at the garden. What do you think of this event?
Well, actually, the first thing is it's really an amazing space, and I have to really thank y'all for the work that y'all have been doing, because I've seen a number of different gardens in the community, and just the whole ambiance, the length of it, it's really beautiful, and I think the community will be able to see the work that you put into it, and the love and the whole vision and the mission and the purpose, for this garden. And it's a time, when we really need gardens, particularly when we're talking about the healthy food choices that we need to make. We see that so much obesity that we have in our community, diabetes. So this is an opportunity to have a space not only to talk about that, have classes, workshops, and the food, but at the same time, as was said here, talking about events. And creating that space, and to me, that's what communities are about. So you definitely accomplished this, and my hat's off to you.
Thank you. Now, about your city council run. What made you want to run for city council?
Well, the first thing is, based on being out in the community and organizing, it's my belief that candidates should not just jump up and say, I want to run for office. It's important for the community to identify people and say, we'd like for you to run and be our representative. And so that's what happened with me. I was asked to run and represent people in West Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood. It's District 7. And I'm up to the task, based on the work that we've been doing for a number of years, and I've been working and representing us. You know, I look forward to doing that work. I work for Councilman Charles Barron now, Director of Legislation, you know. And so I would like to actually use the seat to educate people. You know, it's important for people to know what an office can deliver, whether you're a congressperson, state assembly, or state senator, or a city councilman. You know, and that way we can hold these electeds accountable. You know, and more importantly, you know, not only should the grassroots community identify somebody to run for office, they also need to send them with a mandate. You send them with a legislative budget and policy mandate that says these are the needs that we have in our community, and we expect you to abide by them. So that way we stop saying, what are you going to do once you're in office? It's more collective. And say, well, this is what we're going to do, because you're in the seat, you have a role, but at the same time there's that connection and that bridge between the community and that elected official.
That's why she vote for Indigo Washington if you're in Inwood. We need you down in Harlem.
Yes, well, that's it, part of West Harlem. So it's West Harlem, it's Washington Heights, and it's Inwood.
I forgot the redistricting.
Well,
is this,
most of the...
Is this Inez Dickens?
Okay, so this seat, West Harlem, which we're in now, it covers, the present council member is Robert Jackson. So in 2013, that councilman, along with about 20 other council members, actually will term limit. So it will be considered an open seat, you know, which is it's a great opportunity. And so what we're saying, I started this group called Take Back Our City. And what we're looking at, because we know that a lot of our people have been displaced as a result of gentrification, there's a way to fight back. You know, and the elected official has a role in the process. So without going through the whole lengthy part of it, the two components that we're saying is community boards right now do not have the power to vote against land use and zoning. So what we're saying is that we need to have city council to support legislation that would do that. Grant community boards the ability to vote on land use and zoning. That way that they can stop, the community can stop developers from coming into their community at the local level. Right? That's one. The second main aspect is we want legislation that will recall elected officials. So we put you in office and you're there, and if you slip and bump your head, lose your way, something happens. So we want to say, okay, now we want to have the ability and the power to recall you. Wisconsin is doing it now, looking at based on what happened with the budget and the layoffs and the unions and all of that. So that's what we're saying is key. And Senator Tony Avello, he actually has a bill out now. It's S5190, looking to recall on the state, local, as well as judges. So it's something that we say we feel we can do, and Take Back Our City is coming to a community near, you know, folks, to educate them about not only what we're doing, but what we need to do to take back our city and shift the power.
Yes, we need to be more educated about politics in the community.
Absolutely.
Alton Maddox said that we as a community are not educated about mating, how to choose a mate, finance, war, and there's a fourth one, I'm forgetting, business.
Right.
We're not educated.
And that's by design.
Yes.
So even though it's by design, because we live in this, you know, racist and capitalist society, that doesn't mean that we have to stay in that place. You know, we do know that we have the skills, we have the tools, and the most important thing is when you have the will. Once you have the will and you combine that, so that's what we're saying. That's what I'm feeling, that there's a synergy. You know, there's an opportunity where we need to strike while the iron is hot, and particularly women. You know, women have been at the forefront of being active and engaged, whether it's politics, business, running, you know, the family, running the community. And so we're saying we need more women in electoral politics. You know, so I thank you for this opportunity, this time to, you know, talk with you.
I thank you.
Absolutely.
Indigo Washington, City Council.
Thank you.
Vote for her if you want your community to be better.
So the name is Monique Indigo Washington.
And your website?
Well, we have Take Back Our City, so we're asking people to go to takebackourcity.org, as well as you can email us at takebackourcity2013@gmail.com.
All right. I thank you, my sister.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
And I'm sitting with the city council person.
Thank you. You have a blessed day.
You thank you.